Hi, good morning. So for today's work, we'll be using Google Maps a lot, mainly for verification of the coordinates. So in these sheets are basically coordinates of all the various BHP petrol stations around the country. And what happens is the columns that we need to work on today is basically columns F and G. So we'll start off with loading your Google Map. So when you load Google Maps, the first thing that you need to do for this exercise is to actually turn on the map view, right? So this is usually the default view that everyone actually uses, but the view that we want to use today is the one that we can see uh, buildings and stuff. So let's say after you do a coordinate search, you want to take this column E and paste it here, and then you want to turn on the satellite view. So the most important thing for this exercise is that we want to make sure it's a satellite verification of the station. So in this case, if you zoom in, you see that there's no petrol stations on here, right? Even though the address, this address actually returns these coordinates. So we will just ignore all the address in this case, but we'll just focus mainly on the coordinates. So in this case, when you return a result, it shows that it's not the correct place. So what you want to do on a simpler term would be to find, to actually type in BAP petrol, right, and see if something actually turns up nearby. Okay, so sometimes it will end up like that. If that's the case, then you have to go back. Okay, and then what we do is we're going to try this instead. BHP petrol Ada Heights. Okay, it returns nothing as well nearby, but you can see here there's actually one BH Petrol Ada Heights. So we click on that. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to zoom in. Okay, so you would see something sort of like a petrol station, right? So what you want to do is you want to right click here and click what's here. Now when you click what's here, make sure that's actually on the top of the petrol station and not on the side or not on the road, right? Because it requires a specific satellite verification for this work. So after you actually right click on that, if you look at here, the coordinates on top is actually 1.5492619. But if you look bottom here, it's 1.5490666, which is a bit different. So what you actually need to do is first you need to click on these coordinates, right? And look at the image here to see whether or not this is actually a petrol station. Now, sometimes if the image returns a petrol station image, but on top here you don't see a building that looks like a petrol station, we do not take that. But in this case, it looks quite similar to a petrol station, and this is the coordinates that we want. So again, what's here? Make sure you click on it. Okay. Now, if you notice, the coordinates here is also the same as the coordinates here. But I prefer to take one here which is more precise. So make sure this loads and change first. Then take the coordinates and then you paste it back here. So paste in a new coordinates column. Now after you have done that, you want to do another verification process. So you actually put that coordinates that you copy, put in a search result, and make sure that it actually returns on the top. Because sometimes what will happen is you might accidentally press what's here, and then after that you move somewhere else, right? And then you accidentally press here, and then you go back what's here, but the coordinate still stuck at the 01, 1.5483. So you want to make sure you click on this coordinate at the bottom, and then copy this thing, okay? So that's example number 1. Example number 2 will be in this case. Okay, so we actually look for the coordinates, but as you can see here, there's actually no building, it's actually a dead end. So what we need is we need to do a search again. It's actually in Penang. So what you can do is you can just put BHP IETAM. Sometimes in one area there might be a few petrol stations. So in this case, BHP petrol IETAM. Now let's zoom in to see if this is the correct one. Yeah, it looks like a petrol station, right? So we click on it. There is an image of petrol station view. It looks like a petrol station. The address, if you see 3FMK13, is actually this one as well. So we can verify that this is the actual location that we want. So again, right click here, right click on the top, what's here, okay, click on the coordinates, copy this, put it here, okay, oops. Okay, what you want to do is you make sure you press F2 on your PC or press enter on your Mac, and then this space. Again, now you want to go back and see if this is the correct one. One other method you can do is one other method you can do is after you search it, if it's the right location, you copy this and you can replace this. Okay, and then you do a search and it returns. Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to this BHP Air Kuning. So we'll put in the coordinates, and as you can see here, the setup verification shows like it's a dead end and not really a building. So what we want to do is we want to do a search nearby. Right, and it shows there, but the thing is there's no building that looks like that, right? Because usually it's a flat roof and it's white roof. So here if you look at this orange roof and there's no really flat white roof here. So in this case, even if you zoom out, right, and if you do a search, there's nothing that looks like it. So sometimes you want to check the neighboring surroundings to see if you can pick up something. In this case, there's none. So you will leave the coordinates blank and put there no. So in this case, we'll treat this we'll treat this as no. Okay. Now going back to this example, the Ada Heights, one other method is actually doing a bird's eye view search. So for example, you can move your cursor a little bit around to just look for buildings like this one. You click on it, you see it's a day one Mopakat, and then click on this building, you see it's actually a petrol station. So that's also one way for you to do a search sometimes without putting in the search results. But yeah, so that's essentially it. Key is basically just to do as much as you can, and make sure always double verify your coordinates to see if it returns exactly on top of the building. It doesn't matter if it returns a slightly different image, but as long as on top of the correct building, then it is good to go.